welcome back to the channel. If you've been with me through this series, then you already understand. This isn't about theory. This is about real life, real responsibility, the kind that stretches you, humbles you, and forces you to grow in ways you didn't expect. In episode 1, we talked about identity, understanding your role, and not trying to replace what was already there. In episode 2, we talked about respect, how it's earned, not given, especially in a blended family. Now we step into the hardest part, because you can learn your role and build consistency, but this right here is where it becomes real. This week's message is simple. Can you love without conditions? Loving kids that didn't come from you biologically. I had to wrestle with this in a real way because nobody really prepares you for what it feels like to pour into kids that didn't come from you. To give your time, your energy, your patience, and not always feel that connection right away. If you're not honest about that, frustration starts to build, because biologically there's something natural about connection. But in a blended family, that connection has to be built over time. It's like planting seeds in soil you didn't grow up in. You don't know what's been planted before, what's been uprooted, or what kind of storms have already passed through. But you still have to show up, plant anyway, water anyway, and care anyway. Because real love in this role isn't automatic, it's intentional. Dealing with rejection, distance, or comparison, this is the part that hits your pride. Because there will be moments where you don't feel accepted, moments where they pull away, compare you, or make it seem like no matter what you do, it's not enough. If you're not careful, you'll take that personal and start questioning why you're even trying. But you have to understand that you're stepping into a space that already has history, memories, emotions, attachments. And sometimes you're being compared to a version of someone that only exists in their mind. That's like trying to compete with a shadow. You can't win that. So you have to shift your focus from being accepted immediately to being consistent over time. Because rejection in the moment doesn't mean failure in the long run. Showing up when it's inconvenient or unnoticed, this is where most men fall off, because it's easy to show up when it feels good, when there's appreciation, progress, or visible results. But what about when it's quiet? When nobody says thank you? When your effort goes unnoticed? When it feels like you're pouring into something that isn't pouring back yet? That's the real test. Because showing up in those moments isn't performance, it's commitment. It's like a man tending a fire at night. No one's watching, no one's praising him. He keeps adding wood because he understands that if he stops, everything goes cold. That's what your presence does in a blended family, even when it's not acknowledged. It's maintaining warmth. Long-term vision, planting seeds, not chasing moments. I had to stop thinking short-term and expecting quick results because this role isn't about moments. It's about long-term impact. It's like planting a tree. You don't plant it for today. You plant it for years down the line. For shade, you might not even sit under right away. That's how you have to approach this. Every conversation, every act of patience, every time you choose to stay steady, you're planting something. And just because you don't see growth immediately doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means the roots are forming. And once those roots take hold, that's when everything changes, becoming the steady presence they didn't have. This is where it all comes together, because at the end of the day, they don't need perfection, and they don't need you to replace anyone. They need consistency. They need a man who shows up, who doesn't disappear, who doesn't react out of ego and walk away when things get hard. They need stability. It's like being a rock in moving water. Everything around you may be shifting. Emotions may rise and fall. Situations may change, but you stay grounded. And over time, that stability becomes something they can lean on. Even if they don't say it or show it right away, they feel it. So as we close this series, if you're stepping into a blended family, understand this role isn't light. It isn't easy, and it won't always feel fair, but it matters. Because real leadership isn't about control. It's about commitment. It's about choosing to show up even when it's hard, even when it's quiet, and even when it's not returned immediately. So the real question is, can you love without conditions? If this message hit you, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment, especially if you're walking through this right now, because I want to hear your experience. Like the video so this reaches more men who need to hear it. Share it with someone stepping into this role who might be struggling in silence. And most importantly, subscribe, because we're not just talking, we're building something real here. This is the Ordinary Guy 2.0. Responsibility before ego. See you next time.